A rundown and analysis of what really transpired at the Galwan Valley last night at little past 7 o'clock in the evening. An Indian patrol was set upon by the Chinese. The Indians were patrolling very much on our side of the LAC, ensuring that the Chinese were complying with their side of the bargain to de-escalate when a huge number of Chinese troops suddenly descended upon the Indian patrol party and started attacking it with clubs and other crude weapons in an attempt to try and beat us back. The Indian Jawans, who were clearly taken by surprise and extremely disciplined, did not use their weapons but fought back, in which this clash went on for a few hours, to say the least, viewers. And in that, both the Indian side and the Chinese side have taken casualties. Exact numbers are still to be made official by both governments. What we were told initially via a terse statement was that 3 Indians, including 1 officer, colonel, have been martyred. We have no other information. The Global Times, which is a Chinese communist mouthpiece, came out and said, the editor-in-chief of that newspaper came out and said that 5 Chinese and several others were injured. 5 Chinese were dead and several others were injured. I just want to go straight across to Vishnu Prakash, former diplomat. Vishnu Prakash, how do you resolve this situation?
Well, I must say that this is a very difficult situation. It is a marked escalation. First of all, I would like to pay respectful homages to the brave hearts who have laid their lives. Clearly, action of this kind cannot be spontaneous. When the 2 sides are in the process of withdrawing, if the media reports are correct. Now, I want to put a big if because it's a very sensitive matter. And I would much rather draw any conclusions once we have a clear picture of the ground. But from what indications are available, without going into details, there have been casualties on both sides, and we know our casualties. Now, this is most unfortunate because decades of efforts to somehow find a modus vivendi has received a setback. And an attack like this, if it has happened, cannot happen without perhaps the nod of Beijing. So it is a serious matter. Last comment, Rahul, I would like to say that it certainly evokes very strong patriotic emotions amongst each and every Indian citizen. The question that I want to pose to your viewers and especially to the esteemed panelists is, how should we react? Should we react with emotion and walk into the Chinese trap? Or we should weigh everything carefully, know what has happened, and choose our own time. India is not a pushover. India has strengthened its defenses, and that is precisely what has rattled China. We will do what it takes to defend our territory. There is no doubt about it. But let us not drum up passion, because that is not conducive to taking the kind of defensive action that we will be taking. Rahul?
General Mehta. General Mehta, your input, sir.
I would endorse what Master Vishnu Prakash has said. I think it's a very sad day, and sad for the families of our martyrs. Second, it's a tipping point, I think, in India-China relations. Third, this incident, this scuffle, this murderous brawl brings out the importance of the Galwan River Valley, of the multiple intrusions that have taken place. Contrary to what has been said in the public domain, in my judgment, the most important intrusion on our side of the LAC after 30 years and more is the intrusion in the Galwan River Valley. The Galwan River Valley importance was brought out by a trekking guide. His name is Ahmad Rasul Galwan. He's a legendary figure. He discovered the route from the Shok River through Galwan across towards Konkla Pass and on to the Aksai Chin Highway. That is why the Chinese have got very frisky. The Chinese occupied not just the floor of the river valley, they also occupied the heights. By their twin occupation of the Galwan River Valley and the heights, they now dominate our strategic highway which runs parallel to the LAC from Darbuk, Shok to Daulat Beg Oldie. Additionally, it poses threat to Karakoram Highway and the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. So there is no way, absolutely no way, that the Chinese will pull back from their commanding heights without extracting a concession. Number two, I think the Chief of Army Staff last Saturday at IMA Dehradun made a statement which was factually perhaps underestimated. He said on last Saturday that a lot of disengagement has taken place from Galwan River Valley. I think that is not factually correct. The Chinese have not withdrawn from the heights. The Chinese have pulled back some distance, but they are still on our side of the LAC, not going to forfeit their commanding domination of the road. The third point, this escalation for the first time in the history of the border impasse is both horizontal and vertical.
Okay.
Never before have the Chinese intruded multiply at 5 or 6 or 7 different places if you include Sikkim. And the purpose behind this, the method to this madness is what NSA Shiv Shankar Menon calls 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Okay.
In the end, they will withdraw from 1 or 2 places, but will not withdraw from the Galwan River Valley.
This is not the pliable India of the past. This is not a attenuated India of the past. This is an India that will not tolerate any territorial aggression or cartographic alterations. That much can be said. We have to be very, very careful, viewers, in our response. I just want to go quickly across to Colonel Rohit Dev also with us. Colonel, your own assessment on the way ahead, very quickly.
The way ahead is, Shiv, that at the sub-tactical level, we have to be absolutely careful, dominant and aggressive. And we should make sure that our drones and UAVs are tapping and also trying to catch every incident which is happening to show it tomorrow where it should be shown. At the military level, the reserves, which are capitalized and used for different sectors, the theater level and the ISQ reserves, part of them which are now available, must move to this area. Elements of mechanized forces, which can be lifted through C-130s and also Chinooks, can be put into those areas to plug the gaps and make your patrolling a little more comprehensive and safe. And you also need to employ the diplomatic channel to ensure that this takes a lowdown currently. And economically, we should now have parlays geopolitically and economically to make sure that China understands the language it's supposed to understand. This minor skirmish which has happened last night has taken a toll on our forces as well as theirs. And India, at no point of time, the troops will let the sovereignty of the country or the territorial integrity be bargained by soft talk. So we don't offer cheeks to anybody. We will be more than aggressive to make sure that this doesn't happen. And next time it happens, there are much cost to bear by the Chinese side. Having said that, one last point is that the PLA over the last 3 days has very, in an orchestrated manner, being able to come to the plateau. The bases which are being made as per a civil infrastructure development and also military deployment go hand in hand as a charade, and it will lead to annexation of the complete Tibetan plateau in any which case. And as we go into the future, these bases will come up towards the so-called LAC, and you will have a rise on these claims on the LAC, more aggressive by China. The differential mobility which China enjoyed over the last 10 years and continued unabated in its construction activities where we lagged for 15 years or 20 years, is now India is trying to shape up with the development of infrastructure.
Right.
It will take a lot of gumption and military might to continue with that, and we must. That's the short point for right now. If you have more, I will be happy to answer.
Okay.